The Zohar Chadash. The last paragraph? Just do the last paragraph?
I think so.
Okay. Zohar Chadash. Sof Parshas Truma. This is where it speaks in Parshas Truma about the Binyan Mishkan and the whole layout and structure of the Mishkan, different Kliya Mishkan, and the Kruvim. Now, incidentally, what does the word Kruvim mean?
Cherubs.
Cherubs. That's how they translate it in English. They translate Nefesh HaChaim, and they translate Kruvim as cherub. Okay, that's good.
Actually, in here they keep them at cherubim.
Cherubim, okay. The
Maybe
I would think it's a kind of angel. You have Ophanim and Chayos and Malachim and Cheruvim. No?
We said it's made out of, it's solid gold.
But they move around.
Okay, but we wouldn't call them a malach. No, I'm not asking for that. I'm asking, if you take a look at the word, look at the word in Hebrew. What does that mean? What does that word mean? Look in the word. You recognize this word?
I can't find it. Cherubim.
How do they spell the word?
Karov is near. No, that's not.
What's the first letter?
Kuf.
A kuf.
Oh, it's a kuf? It's not cher, it's a kerub?
Yeah, you're getting mixed up with the cherubim over here.
So
Yeah.
it's like a carob tree.
See how misleading the English translation is?
Very.
Is that Karov something to do with near, or is that another kuf? Another.
How do you spell the word korban?
Corbin. How do I spell it? K-O-R-B-O-N.
No, how is it spelled?
With a cuff.
Resh, Vav, Nun?
Oh, you know what?
Kuf, Resh, Bet.
Now
Korban.
there's two letters that people get mixed up in because they don't. The way that we say in Yeshiva, there's such a thing as a chaf, like with a patach, a chaf, and a kuf, like you say with a malupam.
Tail. Kuf is with a tail.
Kuf. So this kruvim is spelled with a chaf, not with a kuf.
Oh,
It's a different word. It is chaf. It is chaf. Kaf.
So why the
It's
dogish?
pronounced kaf. Why the dot? Because we don't say cheruvim, we say kruvim.
Okay.
Kruvim.
Kruvim.
Kruvim. So now I don't have anything to tell you.
So what does crude mean?
What does kruv mean? That's a good question now. I don't.
Is it similar to the word karov?
See, how do you spell the word karov? Like the word korban. The word korban is spelled with a kuf. Kuf. There's chaf and there's kuf.
Oh.
A monkey is a cat.
Right.
It's a long tail.
Like somebody says he's in the field of kiruv. Right? Kiruv. What does that word mean?
That's with a kuf.
That's with a kuf.
A kuf.
That's with a kuf. That's with a kuf. From the word karov.
Close.
Close.
So
To bring close.
It's not
To
this
bring
word.
close. So that's the word. The word korban is that word. Korban is a noun. Korban is a noun, and it's something that it's something that brings the Jew close to Hashem. That's the ultimate avoda.
Okay.
That's why we call it avodas hakarbonos. Avoda is korban.
Mm-hmm.
That's what avoda does. All avoda, by definition, it brings close to Hashem. How does it do that? Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosa, because Hashem made in all of His mitzvahs kedusha. So when we do mitzvahs, we are enveloping ourselves in kedusha. And when we envelop ourselves in kedusha, mamela, automatically we are coming close to Hashem, because Hashem is
Kedusha.
Hashem is kedusha. He's told he's kulo kodesh. Kedoshim to you, Hashem says in Parshas Kedoshim, He says, Kedoshim to you, ki kodesh ani. I want you to be kadosh because I'm kadosh. And how are you going to get close to me unless you become kadosh? I want you to be close to me. So that's korban. Korban. But all mitzvahs are like that. All mitzvahs are korbanos. They bring close. There's something, it's a noun that's mekarev, brings close. Now the kruvim over here, that's not this word. That's not this word. That's not this word. Why are they called the kruvim? That's a good question. So we'll leave it at that, because I have nothing to say and I'm not going to think of something on the spot. We'll just go weiter. But in any case, we learned the difference between chaf and kuf. You pronounce it the correct way, and when you hear somebody else say chaf and kuf, you'll know what they're talking about also. Okay. And Bli Neder will try to find somewhere that it speaks about what's the meaning, why are they called kruvim. Okay, back to the last paragraph in Perek Ches, the Zohar Chadash, Sof Parshas Truma, B'kol Zimna, the Yisrael Havus HaKodesh. Oh, 1 second, this is Aramaic. Let's drop down to the brackets. Translation of the Zohar into Lashon HaKodesh. B'chol Zman, Shahayu Yisrael Zaka'in, the whole time that Klal Yisrael is Zoche, they are Zaka'in, they are meritorious. Hakruvim ayu devukim, b'dvekes panim b'panim. They are clinging towards one another with a great clinging, panim b'panim. They are facing one another straight, facing one another straight. Panim b'panim, exactly eye to eye. Kevan shahayu chotim, hayu makazirin pneihem zemizeh. But when Klal Yisrael chas v'shalom don't do what they're supposed to do, chotim, they miss the mark, they do chatoim, then miraculously Hashem brings about in these two statues that are solid gold a lifelike reaction, and they are makazirim pneihem zemizeh. They turn their face away from one another. V'alkein akruvim ba'oso zman shahayu Yisrael zakoin hayu panim b'panim. V'al sodos elu hayu yodim. And through these secrets, these mysteries that are only revealed to Hashem, they're the sodos of the hanhaga, the conduct of the kruvim. Hayu yodim. Then we would know im Yisrael hem zakoim or lo. We would know if Klal Yisrael is meritorious in the eyes of Hashem or not. It's a spiritual barometer of Klal Yisrael, the positioning of the kruvim in the Mishkan, in the Beis HaMikdash. Katuv ivdu es Hashem b'simcha. There's the pasuk, ivdu es Hashem b'simcha. Simchasam shel shnei hakruvim. The Zohar says, what does it mean, ivdu es Hashem b'simcha? This is what's the paradigm of ivdu es Hashem b'simcha? Simchasam shel shnei hakruvim. the simcha of the two kruvim. Kevan sheshora aleihem chozer lios b'simcha. Since Hashem, the Shechina, doesn't say over here Shechina, but that's whenever it says Shora, it's a good bet that you're talking about Shechina, Hashras Shechina, the resting of the Shechina. Since the Shechina rests on the Kruvim, Chozer lios b'simcha. They now return to their state of simcha, to be b'simcha. Ba'olam, and the world is chozer lios barachamim, and the world returns to its state of being barachamim. This is very interesting. I have something to say about this. What do you mean chozer? Just say it becomes they become b'simcha. They become barachamim. Chozer means you return. You return to what? You return to your original, essential situation. The original essential situation is Hashras Shechina. And Hashras Shechina means Simcha. Hashem is the ultimate Simcha. And someone who has the Shechina dwelling upon him, he's spitz of Simcha. And so that is the situation before Klal Yisrael does HaToim. And Chozer lios barachamim, because the world, Hashem is only creating the world in order to give us Chesed and Rachamim. That's the whole purpose of the world, to do Chesed and Rachamim and Tov with all the creations. That's the standard. That's the original state of the world. Only when man messes it up, so then Hashem has to apply Plan B. But if Klal Yisrael does tshuva, they go back to doing mitzvahs, and they go back to being meritorious and being zakoin. Chozer lios barachamim. It goes back to the way it's supposed to be, the way it was created to be, the way it originally was. Rachamim, simcha and rachamim. Ezrat Hashem, we should be zocha. Ayin sham ba'orach. And then he says, you think that I just said a few words about what it says over here. Look over there what it says. It goes on about this whole idea at great length. At great length. Ba'orach. Okay. Okay, that's the Kudah. Perek Tes. Ready to go to Perek Tes, Roy? Perek Tes. Here we go. Hine. Dor Midbar. Zocha lios me'ochle shulchan gevoya. The generation of the desert, which what we're learning right now in the Chumash. All the parshas of Parshas Bamidbar is the experience of Klal Yisrael in the Midbar. So we call them the Dor HaMidbar. We call them the generation of the Midbar. And they were Zocha. They merited to be from those that eat from Shulchan Gavoa, the table of Gavoa. What's Gavoa?
On high.
The one on high. Right. The table on high. That means that's Hashem's table. Hashem's table. Where do we see that they were Zocha to be the ones that eat from Hashem's table? Lecha min hashamayim. Devar yom b'yomo. How did they subsist there in the middle of nowhere in the midbar? There's no Rami Levis over there. There's no Makolitz. They got lechem min hashamayim. They got bread from heaven. Devar yom b'yomo. On a constant basis for 40 years. There was a nes, a nes goli. All of Klal Yisrael received man. Every day, day in, day out, day in, day out. Nes goli for 40 years. And like that, they were able to to continue to exist. V'simlosam loy bolsam aleihem. Their clothes that they were wearing, where was the dry cleaners? There was no dry cleaners. In fact, they didn't have to do anything to their clothes. Simlosam, their cloaks that they wore, lo bolsam aleihem. Not only did they stay clean, but they did not become worn out. And if they were children, they would grow with the child. V'lo hayu tzrichim l'shum esek parnasa ba'olam. They didn't need to go and earn parnasa in order to have what to eat, in order to have what to wear. Didn't have to buy a new suit. They had absolutely no involvement in earning a livelihood. Klal, at all. L'divrei hakol loy mikru osin ritzoyno shel makom. Eli im kain hayu mistaklin klapi mala v'yosher gomor. U'mishabdin es libo mirak l'torah ba'avoda. Yiroso yisbarach shmo. Yomam balayla. Lo yamush mipihem. They had an incredible yoke upon them. Since they were totally freed from any material responsibilities. So now, what are they supposed to do there with all of their time, 24/7? 24/7, they are supposed to be, according to L'divrei Hakol, according Bein l'Rebbe Yishmael, Bein l'Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai. That's what he's referring to when he says L'divrei Hakol. Remember, we were speaking about the Machlokes Rebbe Yishmael and Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai. What is a person supposed to do in this world? He's supposed to be osik in Parnasa. He's supposed to be osik only in Torah. Both of them agree that it's not called for the Dor Midbar. It's not called that they are doing the Ratzon Hashem unless they are looking Klape Mala, the Yosher Gomor. They're looking up towards Hashem, the Yosher Gomor, with great Yosher, with great integrity, straightness. Meshabdim es libam rak b'Torah b'avoda, and they put their hearts, they set their hearts only to Torah and avoda. That's the only thing that they were able. That the only thing that they were obligated to do. So that means that they have to do it all the time.
In the desert?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we keep the Torah in the desert and we haven't got it yet?
Well, this is after the Matan Torah.
So this is why the spies are dying out.
Klal Yisrael received the Torah 50 days after they left Mitzrayim.
Shavuos.
Right?
Okay,
So
then we send spies. Now we're wandering around so the spy generation can die out. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So they're totally released of any material responsibility here. Bina Shemayim. That was Hashem's. That was what Hashem wanted them to do, and they have this tremendous yoke upon them. They must be osek in Torah and avoda exclusively. V'yirasa yisbarach shmo, and the yira, the awe and the fear of Hashem, constantly is on their awareness, is in their mind and in their heart on a constant basis. Yomam v'layla, day and night. Lo yamush mipiyem, it doesn't depart from their lips. Devorim kiksavan mamish, literally completely, that's it. That's what they have to do. So you can imagine that that was not so easy. That's not so easy. Not so easy. Li natos el atzad klal, not to waver and turn to this side or that side at all. Af shah kala, le'esek parnasa, even for a small momentary period of time to involve themselves in parnasa. Yeah, one of them might have gotten the idea, you know what? This mun business is, I don't want to eat mun. I want to have a steak. I want to have a baked potato. I want to have,
Leeks and onions.
Yeah, there's all sorts of, I want to, and this Torah and Avoda business, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that.
But on the other hand, they're in the Midbar. There's no movie theaters.
There's no movie theaters, Baruch Hashem.
There's
There
not
used to
really
be a movie theater here on, right here in Gula, on Rehov. When I first came here, now it's a housing development, and they say that it had been there for a long, long time. It was even there, and the Priskarov used to live around the corner from it. And he used to keep his menorah on Hanukkah lit very, very late because he knew that people would be coming from the cinema, and they would come walk by the house of the Briskerov, and he wanted them to be able to see that he's got his neros lit on Hanukkah.
Yeah.
That was the Briskerov. But they don't have it anymore there. They got 10 times as many other places. We're not going to talk about that. Okay. So you want to know what they didn't have anything else to do. Basically, they didn't have too much else to do, but we see that there were certain times that they did get in trouble. They went out for a tule to look and see what was going on in Shittim by Baal Peor, and they had the worst Avera since the Cheta Egel, and the who is it? The Midyanim and the Moabim tried to trap them in Znus.
Right, that's right.
So the nations of the world are out to get them, and it was not so easy over there. Not so easy. Not such an easy life. I heard recently one of the Rabbanim Shlita said, you look in Parshas Midra and you see they did this sin, the Cheta Egel, you did the spies, and they did this, and they're complaining about that. And so if you think about it, it's 40 years, and the Torah doesn't pull any punches. It lists all the Averas. It doesn't hide anything. And how many are there? 10. In Avos it says, the Moshe Rabbeinu said, the Pasuk says, Hashem says, you angered me these 10 times. 10 times in 40 years? Do 10 Averas in 40 years? Halavai, I would only do 10 Averas in 40 years. That would be great. Wow. Halavai. So, now there is a Chazal, a famous Chazal that says that there's a kesher over here. It's not just a coincidence. Oh yeah, this generation was given the Torah, and they were also the ones that got mun to eat. No, interesting coincidence. No. Chazal make a big deal of this. There's a very strong connection. They say that the Torah was only given to a generation that Hashem gave man to. They're in absolute unity, these two things. V'chein hemidu oz es hakruvim l'fi ma shehayu osim ritzon shel makom pneihem ish el achiv mamash laharos ki yashar yechazu pneimoy yisbarach panim b'panim im am kadosho. Okay, he's alluding to what he said in the beginning of Perek Tes, which I said we were not going to go into 100% all the details of this of what he got into over there. It's very, very interesting. But I'll just tell you one thing. How were the Kruvim originally designed to be? Were they designed to be facing to one another? They were designed to be not 100% facing to one another? They were originally not facing one another? How were they originally?
Facing each other.
So here he's saying that that they were that's the way they originally were, because that was the situation of the Dor Midbar. The Dor Midbar. This is really how we should remember the Dor Midbar. They were panim b'panim, and Hashem was panim b'panim with them as well. He conducted himself with them in a way that he's showing them, I'm here. How do you know I'm here? Every day you get man from Shemayim. You know that I'm here, right? That I don't get man. I had never gotten man. Never got man.
Doesn't it say that they were on opposite ends of the cover? I think it says that they were facing each other, but they were on opposite ends. So they weren't punny. They weren't
punny means that they were directly looking at one another.
Isn't there a closer state where they're actually hugging each other?
Yeah, we said that too. But we're in.
So
when they come up on Aliyah L'Regel, then the Gemara in Yuma says that the Kohanim would pull away the parochus, the curtain where they were in the Kodesh HaKodesh. They're all the way in there, and show the Oli Regolim that they were locked in an embrace.
So it wasn't the highest level.
To show you that look how Hashem is. Oh, it wasn't the highest level. Okay, it's pretty good though.
Pretty good. Okay,
it's pretty darn good. Mashahayu osim ritzonu shel makom. They were osim ritzonu shel makom. Pneim ish el achiv mamash. The fact that the time of Yom Tov is more indicative of, because of that Zman. I think that's more indicative of the fact that in that Zman of Yom Tov there's a special downpour of Shefa Bracha that Hashem gives to Klal Yisrael at that time, and that was shown to them with the Kruvim. It was over and above like what exactly they're holding. It was because of the Zman. It wasn't simply based upon what they were doing.
What is Zman? The time?
The time, yeah. The time of Yom Tov. The time of Yom Tov is a special time of closeness that Hashem has to Klal Yisrael. Look, all the Klal Yisrael, they would come up wherever they were. If they were in Babylonia, they would come up on Aliyah L'Regel. They would make a pilgrimage to Yerushalyim and come to the Beis HaMikdash and appear before Hashem in the Beis HaMikdash. And Hashem would, that's where Hashem would, the divine presence was. It was a special time of closeness. So that's because of the time. Okay. Okay, so this is what he has to say about the Torah Midbar. Amnam. Oh, now he's going into this. Okay, so that's the way it started. That's the way it started. The way it started, they were positioned, the Kruvim, according to the standard that the Jewish people were living up to. They were doing the Ratzon Hashem, mamash. They were involving themselves in Torah and Avodah 24/7. They were looking to Hashem. They were looking to cling to Hashem and get close to Hashem. Torah and Avodah. Now, Amna, Yimei Shlomo. In the days of Shlomo Melech. Now Shlomo Melech builds a Beis HaMikdash. He's the one that built the first Beis HaMikdash. And he has Kruvim in the Beis HaMikdash. Shahayu klal hamon Yisrael tzrichim umuchrachim lintos ma'at el hatzad le'esek haparnasa. In the time of Shlomo, the overwhelming majority of the populace of the Jewish people needed at that time, of necessity, to turn a little bit towards the side of getting involved in Parnasa. HaKodesh, today, Chaye Nefesh, at the very least, in order to make enough to be able to eat and be able to live. Shezeh Iker Amitas Ritzono Yisborach L'das Rebbe Yishmael. This is the ideal, according to Rebbe Yishmael, that the person engages, the overwhelming, the general populace he's talking about, should involve themselves in order for their livelihood on a limited, minimal basis, enough to keep themselves alive and be able to learn Torah and do mitzvahs. And that, according to Rabbi Yishmael, is the ultimate. Savar de la Rabbim Tfei Arich Lemebed Hachi. That is if they do that, that's called they are Osim Ritzon Shel Makom, according to Rabbi Yishmael. Moshe Amru Ba'avos, like it says in Avos. Yafa Talmud Torah im derech eretz. It's good if a person engages in Torah. Oh, the other way around. In English, you'd say it the other way around. It's yafeh. It's very nice if he engages in derech eretz, meaning earning a livelihood, together with his main involvement in Torah. His main involvement is still in Torah, but he turns a bit to derech eretz. The kol Torah she'eini ma malacha, and then there's another statement in Avos, and all Torah that doesn't have with it malacha, working in order to earn a livelihood, to support oneself, sofa betela. It will ultimately nullify, the Torah learning will ultimately nullify itself. It won't be able to continue like that. And we know that all the words of Avos are not just for it's not b'diavad. It's not well, okay, it's okay if you do like that. No, it's milei de Chasidus. Those are matters of Chasidus. Chasidus is the best way, l'chatchila. Just ask the Chasidim, right? Rak shegam be'es askam be'parnasa yehi libam noheg b'chachma u'behir ur divrei Torah. This is the interesting thing that the Nefesh HaChaim learns in Rabbi Yishmael, that surely Rabbi Yishmael meant that even at the actual time that a person is involved in earning his livelihood, the 3 hours that he gives himself during the day to involve himself in livelihood, the Rambam says 3 hours. Balabais, he says. The Balabais, the Rambam says, the Paskins like Rabbi Yishmael. Balabais, who doesn't learn full time, what does he do? 3 hours he applies himself to earning parnasa, and the rest of the time, 9 hours he's got in any case to learn Torah. It's not the whole day, but he's got at least 9 hours. Good.
What happens to the other 12 hours?
He's got to sleep, he's got to eat, He's got to take care of his affairs.
Okay.
He's more generous than the Stipler. The Stipler didn't give that much time for sleeping and for eating and for taking care of his affairs. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but he says, yeah, of course. You know, person's got to eat, he's got to sleep, he's got to take care of his affairs. He's got, after that, I don't know what he said, 18 hours or 16 hours. So he can learn. He can become the Gadol Hador. Who can't become the Gadol Hador if they learn 18 hours a day? That's the way the Stipler looked at it. That's why he became the Gadol Hador.
From one extreme to the other.
Okay. So, where are we? Oh, so he's saying, Rak, however, there's a proviso that even at the time that he's, in those 3 hours, when he's set aside to be involved in Parnasa, his heart should be noheg, conducting himself in matters of chachma, ubehirhur divrei Torah, and he should be thinking and have thoughts in the matters of Torah. Depends on the person's job, but you know. You know, maybe if he's a brain surgeon and he's in the middle of a brain surgery, you wouldn't want him to focus on anything other than what he's doing. But you know, how long is the brain surgery? It's I don't know, X number of hours, X number of whatever it is. Driving to work. After that, during the changing his clothes or whatever it is, there's a lot of time that he's not. That his mind is not totally occupied with his parnasa, and during those times, according even to Rabbi Yishmael, he should be involved in Torah. So therefore, in the days of Shlomo, it's a very long sentence that he's written over here.
Yeah.
There, he's going back on the Bimei Shlomo, and therefore, in the days of Shlomo, they positioned at that time, initially, the Kruvim according to the positioning of those who are Osim Ritzon V'Shomakom, who are doing the Ratzon Hashem. Paneihem.
What does that mean in the days of Shlomo they positioned the Kruvim? I thought the Kruvim were created by Betzalel.
Yeah.
And it created a new set in the days of Shlomo?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he had a new set.
Huh.
It's a Gemara in Baba Basra. He started off the Baba Basra Tzadi Test. You can take a look over there. It's the beginning of Perek Ches. The whole sugi over there about the Kruvim and the positioning of the Kruvim and the history of the positioning of the Kruvim. Very, very interesting and deep.
Tzadi Tess?
Tzadi Test, 99. 99A. Okay. So,
Not 99 or 98?
99A.
Oh, 99.
99A. Sadi is 90, Tess is 9, and Aleph is Folio A. Okay. So, Paneihem Mitsudode Ma'at. So he says they weren't panim apanim, yashar, yashar, yashar. But more or less, they were looking at one another. Kol zeh hayu u'urim. Kamar ish v'levoyos. The panim shel chiba. V'haros chibaso yisborach etzlo. Sheze ikar ritzono yisborach. Now he's mentioning that they were in embrace. So what he seems to be saying is that they were positioned hemidu oz at that time, but tchila, initially, in a way of Shitzudodim ma'at. Their faces were more or less facing one another, a little bit off to the side, but not too much. V'im kol zeh, and all that notwithstanding, hayu ma'urim. They were in an embrace. He brings a pasuk in Malachim. Kama'ar ish v'levoyos. Now that word mem ayin reish is embrace. I mean, we have a different word we have another word called chibuk. Chibuk is embrace also. But this is also is translated this word as embrace as well. Kama'ar ish v'levoyos. The panim shel chiba, with an expression of chiba, of endearment. The haros chibasa yisbarach etzleinu, to show Hashem's great cherishing of us. Shezeh ikar ritzono yisbarach, because Klal Yisrael was doing the in the way that they were conducting themselves. A little bit of parnasa, and mostly in Torah. And even when they were Torah, even when they were parnasa, they were also trying as much as they could do to think in Torah. That was spitz. They were great. They were gavaldik. The sober Rebbe Yishmael.
And this is the time of Shlomo.
That's the time of Shlomo. Right. Now we're talking about the time of Shlomo. Right? Because in the time of Shlomo, it was a different circumstance. This is a big difference between the door Midbar and the door that goes into Eretz Yisrael. The door Midbar, they have no. Hashem is taking care of all of their material needs. They don't need to engage in any seeking of livelihood. They're totally Torah and Avoda 24/7. When they go into Eretz Yisrael, it's not like that.
Right.
There's no more mun. There's no more Bear Miriam. They got to go to the dry cleaners now. So there's they got all sorts of material responsibilities, and that's what he says over here. That they were mukhrachim. They had no choice but to turn at least a bit towards engaging in parnasa. But nevertheless, that's the way Hashem made it. That's the way Hashem made it. Eretz Yisrael was not the midbar. That's what it was in Eretz Yisrael. And according to what they were required to do, the Nefesh HaChaim says they were doing exactly. Hashem was very pleased.
That's the majority.
That's the majority, right?
And you have the minority who's 24/7.
Yeah, you always have that. You always have that. V'sover Rebbe Yishmael.
How does Yisachar and Zebulun fit into that? They were one. They were two tribes, right? But the implication here is that everybody was doing that.
Oh, you mean according? Well, the the majority, overwhelming majority, was involved in parnasa to support themselves. So they have support.
And were they?
Then there's what?
Were they supporting the minority?
They were also helping the minority, presumably. Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and this Yisachar Zebulun situation? It seems like Yisachar Zebulun is just more of the same thing. Why are they called out as having a special deal?
They made a explicit agreement with one another.
Right.
And Rav Moshe says, when you talk about Yisachar Zebulun, that you talk about a Yisachar Zebulun agreement, it means that the Zebulun is going to totally, he's not going to just give him a nice contribution. He's going to give him, he's going to have what they call in Hebrew Siddur Maleh. He's going to have a house. He's going to have whatever he needs. Income every month, so that he can vaxois. He can now grow into someone who's going to be able to calculate the Ibor Hashana, like Yisachar Yodea Itim. They knew the times. They were the ones on the Sanhedrin. They were the ones who involved themselves in these very, very complex calculations of the moon and the sun and the Ibor of the HaKodesh and the Shana. So they didn't have any, in a certain sense, they were like it was like the midbar for them. They were like a miniature door midbar, and that was an explicit agreement that was made between them. So that was, we don't find anything like that between the other shvatim.
Right. So
The
the normal situation then would be just some kind of tzedakah, which is not necessarily providing you with everything you need.
Yeah.
Maybe providing you with minimum.
Yeah. Like it says, Rebbe Akiva was a gabbai tzedakah. Like every Rosh Yeshiva today.
Right.
What's every Rosh Yeshiva today have to do?
Go get money for.
He has to go. He has to go and raise money.
Right.
Right. That's what he has to do. Doesn't come to him.
Right. Right.
Got to go raise money. So that presumably they must have had to do that also, to be able to however much he would come back with, that's what he would he'd be able to give to his talmidim. But yeah. Okay. So Rabbi Yishmael, Manda Amar Shagam Bekeruvei Shlomo Hemidom Tefila Lefi Masha Yu Osim Ritzonu Shamakom Neim Bishalachiv Mamash Sober Karibsh and Yochai. Let's read this again. Over Rabbi Yishmael, Amanda Amar Shagam Bekruchei Shlomo Hemidum Tachil Lefi Ma Shahayu Osim Ritzonu Shamakom Pneim El Achiv Mamash. Not like we said above. We said above that they were Pneim Mitzudadim Ma'at. Not flush, eye to eye, facing one another. Sover Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. That view will go like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai.
The view that says that they were embracing?
That they were facing one another, mamash. They were not on the side. They were not turning to the side at all.
Angle between each other.
So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that they were somewhat closer than Rabbi Yochanan says they were. Is that right?
Again, we're not talking about how close they were. We're talking about how they are positioned straight towards one another.
Aligned.
Aligned, yeah.
Okay. So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says they were more perfectly aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, ulachora akati lama hutzruchu lahamid shtei kruvim mitzudadin. Alo hakruv ha'echad sheramaz olav yisbarach shmo hayu tzrichin lahamidoy yashar mamash. Okay. So he has a question over here. Why do we need to say that the kruvim, according to Rabbi Yishmael, were a bit angled on the side, not straight towards one another? He says, at the very least, one of the kruvim is alluding to Yisbarach Shmo. It's alluding to Hashem.
Right.
And accordingly, Ayutzrichin lahamidoy yashar mamash. He should be aligned straight towards the other kruv.
Didn't we say yesterday that the one that represents Hashem moves in accordance with the way that the one that represents Israel moves?
Yeah, but here we're talking about how they originally positioned.
Oh, right.
Amnam ha'inyan kamosha kasavnu. So it may seem to be difficult, but he says the matter is like we've already written. Shehiskabrusa yisbarach kaviyachol laha'olamos v'ha'kochos kulam. That Hashem's chibur, his connection, as it were, to all the worlds and the powers that there are in the world, kol sidreihem v'his kashrusam, and all of their orders and all of their structures became kol sidrei hanhagaso yisbarach hitanu, and Hashem's way of dealing with us, hukafi shiur hatenua by his orus hamagia aleihem mimasenu lamata. Maybe that's like what you're saying, Luke. Hashem's alignment towards us is according to the way we are aligning ourselves to Him.
Right.
וכפי זה השיר משתלשל ונמשך גם עלינו למטה פנים צוחקות ומוסברות. So according to that, the amount of the way of the alignment is gonna go Mishtal Shel Benimshach Gam Aleinu. Oh, so this sheer of Hashem's connection to His world, as it were, it comes down and continues to all the way down below to us in a way of panim sochakos umuzbaros, a pleasant and a good panim. And gam akru sheramaz olav yisborach shmo hayu gam kein tzrichin lamido mitzudad ma'at. So according to this, we would have to align initially the crew, even the one that's for Hashem, a little bit on an angle. If Ishir Hatsidud shall akruv sheromez aleim, which would correspond